taking down one of the expansions. He did discover that expansion. Now he's going to try to achieve parity with the Zerg player, getting his second expansion, and Zerg only has 2 expansions of his own. So looks like that Mutalisk actually not being able to protect the drones there. Backho just sacrificing his zealots to kill off some drones at this natural expansion, and managed to kill off a number of drones there. I think just 2 or 3, but a pretty good trade off for a couple of zealots, and just still more speed upgrade zealots running down there. But I think by now this attack should be petering off, because these Mutalisks are just going to be able to intercept them and destroy them before they're able to do any good. It looks like the Mutalisks don't even care. They're just going to fly into Backho's base, and Backho has a ton of photon cannons at his natural expansion, at the second expansion here, but looks like an Archon and a photon cannon are all that's left right now. And the Archon, if he can take down the Archon, he can start pounding on those photon cannons, but looks like, no, he's realizing he can't do that in time. It looks like some Hydras out now to deal with these incoming speed zealots here, and they're going to be able to pick off all the zealots at this new expansion at the inside 3 o'clock position. And looks like, yeah, the Zerg has fortified his perimeter. I'm not sure what the Protoss is looking like inside of his base. I'm not sure if the Zerg knows about it either. GGPlay should really get into the Backho's base and notice that there's no cannons there. There's a ton of cannons in the front, but really just not that many in the back, I think. Okay, so the expansion of the 630 position is going back up for GGPlay right now, and it looks like another hatchery going up in his main, so 4 hatcheries in his main right now, and looks like GGPlay is still adamant about attacking those. I hope he's not going to keep attacking those Archons with his Mutalisks, because he cannot afford to lose them like that. Mutalisks are okay against 1 Archon if they're at full health. The Mutalisks are full health, and it looks like a lot of photon cannons now up for Backho, so GGPlay will not be able to get in there. And now he is switching to Lurker Tech, which is a good idea against his mass zealots here. And we'll see if Backho is prepared for this. I'm not sure if I've seen any observers yet, and he might not be prepared for this at all. He might be at least contained here by these lurkers, and it looks like the zealots can spot these lurkers, and it's going to get destroyed. And meanwhile, it looks like, yeah, they're going in for an attack here, but I don't think they'll be able to get into either of the expansion bases of the Protoss player, but I think they will be able to set up a good contain here. Looks like a DT out for Backho also, and I still don't see any observers out for him, so I assume he doesn't have any yet. A robotics facility finally going out for him, so he's away from getting observers, and it looks like GGPlay will be able to set up a temporary contain there with his couple of lurkers. But actually, Backho has managed to outmaneuver those lurkers. He's actually going through the middle of the map now. The Overlord is going to spot it, though, and I think that GGPlay will have enough in his base to protect against this, especially once those lurker eggs fully morph. But looks like actually GGPlay is looks like Backho is actually going towards GGPlay's expansion at the 630 position. It looks like he got a scout there, or perhaps just assumed that that expansion was going to go up, and that expansion is going to go down just as quickly now from these zealots. Looks like the Archon shows us that Protoss does have +1 attack upgrade, and looks like yeah, GGPlay is just not going to be able to do much here. He can send some Mutalisks, so really just 2 Mutalisks to do some damage. A couple more Mutalisks, perhaps to pick off those zealots, but the hatchery is going to go down once again. So Backho really doing a good job to keep this game at an even keel here. And looks like a Lurker actually getting behind one of the expansions for Backho, managing to stop mining in that corner of that expansion. I'd say the game is quite even right now. Both players at 3 expansions, both harassing each other, and really just maybe Backho has a little bit of a lead right now, especially if he manages to get this 3rd expansion, this 4th base down. And looks like, yeah, he's definitely picking off a lot of drones here with his DT, picking 3 drones off with his DT there. Good job by him. Looks like a Lurker still at this gas expansion here, picking off probes, and really just 1 cannon being built there would be able to stop it, or observers, of course, would be able to detect it. It looks like GGPlay is actually going to attack this newly formed expansion, forcing Backho to cancel all the cannons there. Backho was perhaps a little cavalier to build that expansion right underneath the eyes of the Overlord. And you know, so just GGPlay just making sure that Backho it doesn't get out of control here and out-expand him. Backho is sticking towards a zealot heavy army here. I feel like he probably should go for some dragoons or more Archons, I guess, to deal with these mass lurkers, because that does seem like what GGPlay is going to go for next. It would make sense. It looks like, yeah, he is going for a lot of lurkers there. 3 evolution chambers up for GGPlay, so definitely thinking about getting they're probably going to Hive pretty soon, but that's going to be quite expensive to upgrade all 3 at the same time. Looks like the lurkers are still 0-0, by the way. So he is behind in the upgrade game, but looks like a lot more zealots going south again, perhaps to check if that 630 expansion has gone up for a 3rd time, but it has not gone up for a 3rd time, and they're just going to be hanging out there. I don't think they'll be able to get into the natural expansion. It looks like they're just going to kill Extractor there. Yeah, just the zealots for Backho. I don't think this army is going to be effective once, especially once Zerg gets to Hive. It just gets the Adrenal upgrades and get some upgrades for those lurkers. I don't think this is a great build, especially if the Mulists manage to get into the main like they are right now. And Backho, not having enough forces in his main, not having any anti-air in his main, dependent just on a couple of cannons. And once GGPlay killed his cannons, who was able to just have free reign in the main base there, and Backho just with a ton of zealots. It's kind of make or break for him though, because he needs to take down some one of the bases to even up the game again. Because yeah, GGPlay definitely has the lead now. He can destroy all the buildings in the main at his will until some Archons come into the battle there. And it looks like Backho now perhaps thinking about an attack. Yeah, he's thinking about an attack here at the right side, but looks like he can't attack in any direction. He just seems to be kind of confused, and I can see why Classart doesn't favor him too much, because he's doing kind of a strange build here, and just a little indecisive in his play here, and just not caring about his home base enough, just relying on a couple of cannons there. Really, that's not enough against a good Zerg player. They'll figure out how many cannons you have, and then they'll bring enough sufficient forces to deal with them. And if you don't have any mobile forces, then you're just not going to be able to deal with them. It looks like a number of observers out, and looks like good, very good Mulist micro from GGPlay here. Managed to pick off a ton of probes. All the probes in the main are dead, and GGPlay could actually take down some of the tech buildings in the main. I think a Templar Archives is vulnerable there, but looks like an Archon finally out for Backho after about 2 minutes of non-stop air harass there with nothing to be able to fight against. Finally an Archon out, and Archons, while good on the attack, really I don't like Archons so much on the defense, especially in the spread out base like the one he has. They're just so not maneuverable against Mulists, and I would much rather prefer Corsairs, which of course can chase Mulists quite far. And it looks like a Hive going up for GGPlay. I'd give the advantage solidly to GGPlay now, and it looks like if you can watch it on the mini map there. Backho has set up this sort of long wall. Now I guess all of his zealots are clumping together, but for a moment, yeah, he's actually setting up this sort of large contain of zealots to prevent GGPlay from moving out, perhaps, in the center of the map on the ridge. But that's really not going to do him very good, because right now what GGPlay is doing is using his Mulisks to just absolute freedom, just picking off probes left and right, and he's quite happy to tech to Hive in the meanwhile and build up a lot of units to break out. It looks like +2 upgrade, attack upgrade up for Protoss players, and I'm not sure exactly about the upgrades for the ground Zerg units. I haven't checked them recently. It looks like the food count for the Protoss still is higher than the Zerg though, but that should be expected though, I think, at this point in the game. It's 139 to 115 if you guys can't see it. Yeah, so it looks like I really think that Backho needs to just to go on the attack before the Hive build is complete here, and before Zerg just manages to out macro Protoss, because the Protoss player in the late game really needs just and just all zealots and Archons here. Wow, but I guess they are good for this Zergling heavy army here, and this Hydralisk Lurker army. But yeah, it looks like a big attack now going on in the middle here. And I was going to say that the Protoss player really needs to get some more High Templar, just a better mix of units here. Just Archons and Zealots are just relying purely on brute force there. Looks like they did manage to take down a hatchery as well as morphing, so that's a loss of 300 minerals for GGPlay there. It was sort of an inconclusive skirmish there. I'm not sure who won that skirmish, but both seem to be happy retreating from one another for now. Pylon out in the middle of nowhere for Backho, perhaps to set up another expansion. And it looks like a big attack going on the right side. Backho may have outmaneuvered GGPlay here, going on to the inside 3 o'clock expansion. But looks like once again he's retreating to the force of in the face of a lot of Hydralisks. And I feel like he really needs to commit his attack at somewhere, even if he loses most of his units. Just take down a hatchery and then just move on from there, because this retreating, he's allowing his forces to get